technology growing by itself and people demanding is a seed-based approach. Now, people demanded a Motorola cell phone in 1970s. Yes, when there were 3, 5, 10 transistor or maybe one transistor or a radio phone. Now people are demanding Apple phone or your computers because of better performance due to a better microprocessor. Anyone will ask a question, why should I not buy 1970 Motorola phone and why should I buy iPhone 12 Pro? Nobody will ask this. People will say, doctor, you have gone mad. What? There is no comparison. This is what seed-based innovation is all about. Let's talk about need-driven approach or need-based innovation. In this case, we start with the need. First, you go to the customer and ask their problem. If there is no problem, don't try to solve the problem or don't try to create a problem. Problem with need-driven approach is faster horse problem. I will explain you why it is a problem in my next slide. This is the famous Henry Ford. If you see above, there is a faster horse and there is a car. This is the great T model, which was developed in 1905 of Ford Motors. He said, if I had listened to my customers, I would have given them a faster horse. People were not used to the concept of cars. Okay, 1800s, the people were using horse and chariots and all to move from one place to another. So he created this T model and he wanted to go to the customer and ask them, what you need for transportation, for efficient transportation. Majority of the customers, they said, we want a faster horse. He says, I'm giving them a car which is, more durable, which has a more life than a horse, and they want a faster horse. So this is the problem, faster horse problem. People don't know what they want. If you bring something new, they don't know they need it or not. But you need to anyhow make it because they will be needing it in the future. I will teach you one interesting model which I learned at Harvard's. This is called as the clover leaf model. So what is this clover leaf model? A framework for determining whether a technology venture is ready to be taken to the market. There are 4 dimensions to this model. Number 1, technology readiness, whether your technology is ready. When technology is not ready and you introduce in the market, it will create problems. And the problems will result in most of the time you withdrawing from the market. Market readiness. Of course, technology readiness is the stage at which the technology is completed. And market readiness is whether people are ready to accept that technology. After market readiness, you have commercial readiness. Okay, commercial readiness is people willing to pay for it. And last is your team readiness, whether you are equipped, you have the team to consistently run your business. Each dimension has a series of critical questions that can help you develop the picture of where a technology venture currently stands. Now, my dear, coming back to the final part of the presentation, of course, functioning in the times of COVID, my dear, 9 out of 10 young entrepreneurs in the Asia Pacific report that coronavirus has, negatively impacted their businesses. These are those entrepreneurs who have started their business, and most of them are technology entrepreneurs. COVID-19 impact only 16% startups and SMEs have more than 3 months of runaway. 42% are out of funds, and they are, shutting their business in the final stages. What are we supposed to do in these unprecedented times? Small and medium businesses are more vulnerable for this crisis because they don't have, of course, enough arsenal with them. So that is the reason why small businesses offer a positive impact on their communities by creating more jobs and opportunities and creating money circulating in the local economies. Small businesses can create a huge impact on national economy. For example, Indian MSMEs, this is micro, small and medium enterprises, contribute close to 30% of the Indian GDP. So imagine if they are getting a hit, the GDP is already getting a hit. Small businesses preserve the unique character of local communities and create a multiplier effect. Multiplier effect, macroeconomics, the Keynesian multiplier, if you have seen. Okay, so how exactly the income multiplier works, which is affected due to the COVID. Now, what are the tips for entrepreneurs? You most probably go digital, use apps for business operations and customer relations. That's what, is going to be a biggest advantage during these times. Benefit from the efficiencies of logistics and supply chain advantages, which have developed over a period of time. Focus on value creation and less on value capture. You cannot capture values or increase revenue during the time of COVID-19 because people, as the purchasing power of the people goes down, you can only hope to create value, to survive, not to capture value, because they are going to reduce their expenditure. Keep your stocks in check. Of course, you don't want to be, offering the product for a week and then be out of the market for a week. So that gives a negative image about your company to the customers. Control cost and avoid fresh injections of funds. Please, this is the time where we don't want to inject funds. We just want to, survive. We just want to float. Remain invested in cash equivalents. We need cash. Cash is the fuel through which we can move ahead. retain talent, keep communications open. Now, talent is something which it goes again, acquiring takes a lot of time. And trust me, when people move from your company, move from your business, they are not only taking the experience, but they are also taking the knowledge. They are also taking the expertise. They're also taking the secrets. So this is something very important. You need to retain talent during these tough times. Wear the hat of hope, last but not the least. If there is, an entrepreneur is minus hope, he is already started his reverse counting. So hope is very important. It gives you positive energy, and it gives you that courage to move ahead. Amazing questions, and hats off VSIT. Long way to go, and I was so proud and thankful. I must, in my concluding line, I would say that this is one of the best sessions I had.